So Mark, big 2 weeks ahead for you and the rest of the players.
Yeah, big two. It's been like that for the last maybe 5 or 6 weeks, really, all the way throughout the season, really. But yeah, as you say, it's crunch time now. With 3 games in 2 weeks, so that's the way it is.
And how are you and how are the players viewing this next couple of weeks?
It's a good opportunity. I think it's something you've got to look forward to. Really, it's a chance where it's a 3-horse race, and as I say, we've got to go into it feeling confident and go and enjoy it.
And how much pressure do you feel?
I think obviously we've had a bad year last year as well, so there's relegation pressure and there's promotion pressure, and I'd much rather have what we've got at the moment. You know what I mean? So I think it's something we've got to enjoy, as I say.
And particularly so after the last couple of results.
Yeah, it's been not been talked really, hasn't it? And backs and forwards throughout the last few weeks and draws, but as I say, all we can do is look after our game and try and win our game, and whatever happens elsewhere is kind of out of our control.
But to have won the last 2 games so emphatically,
yeah,
must be a nice feeling to put those kind of goals away and to have put in such commanding performances.
Yeah, as you say, the last 2 games we've took our chances and won the games quite convincingly, really, which is a positive. And as I say, it can only give us confidence going into the last 3. So yeah, we're quite positive about what's happening.
And how much do you look at what Grimsby and Barnet are doing? Do you, as players, do you look at their oppositions and trying to work out, what might happen in their games versus yours?
No, I don't think you can go too far on it. I think at the end of the day we play whoever, and we know who they're playing, but we've got to look after our business, and then at the end of the game you'll see how they done and you'll know where you're at. But as I say, we can't control what they're doing, so you can have an interest in it, but I'm not going to go too deep on it.
And training at this time of the season, I mean, you've probably done as many training sessions as you would want to do, I imagine, and it's a long season. So what do you players, how do you approach training in these last few weeks?
Yeah, well, like in any season really, come the end, you're kind of taking over and keeping your fitness levels as they are, but we're doing a lot of work on basically based towards the game, whoever you're playing that weekend, and your focus is on who you're playing against. And as I say, our attitude's been the same throughout the season, that we're working hard. But in terms of fitness and that, it's just a case of taking over now, and hopefully it all goes well on game day, really.
So looking at who you're playing on Saturday, Southport, I mean, they're down the lower end. Yeah. They're not really in relegation trouble. They're probably too many points ahead of Welling. So how do you think they approach this, and how do you approach them as a team?
We'll approach them like we approach anybody. We obviously have our game plan, and we go out and give them the respect that they deserve, because at the end of the day you can only play what you're up against, and you're out there to win the game. And I think they'll come down here, as you say, maybe they've got nothing to lose, and we're probably going to have a massive crowd there, so they'll come out probably looking to impress, and that's what we've got every week at home, and so we've just got to go and basically not think too much about it, but it's in our game that we've got to go and win and go and do that.
Do you as players, would you prefer the team to the opposition to come out and have a go, because it just creates more space rather than them just kind of sit behind the ball and you have to try and batter the door down?
Yeah, I think so. No matter who you play against at any level, if a team sits on and makes it hard for you, it's hard to break down, and if they come out a bit more, then it becomes a bit more of a football game, and things open up, as you say. So it probably is easier if teams come on and open up, but at the same time, it's whatever they do, we've got to make sure we break that down and win the game. And
talking of home, I mean, your fans and the numbers, whether you had 2,500, 3,000 at Kidderminster, over 8,000 last time out in the Mem, I mean that's an incredible support at this level.
Yeah, throughout the season they've backed us home and away. It's been unbelievable, really, and it's great to see that everybody at the club is pulling in the one direction, and we all know where we want to be, and we're trying to do our part on the pitch, and they're certainly doing their part off it. So I can only be positive about what the fans have done this year.
And at home with so many fans there, is there a greater level of expectation, do you think? Do players feel that?
I think, obviously they're coming expecting us to win the game, and we as ourselves put that pressure on ourselves to go and win the game. So does it play into effect? Possibly, but as I say, there's an expectation level there which has always been there with this football club, and if you're going to sign and play for this club, you've got to deal with that, really.
And just going back to your, recent goal-scoring form, not yours personally, obviously,
No,
that'd be a foolish thing to say.
Yeah.
But you're in a good position at the back to see what's going on. Yeah. Do you think anything has changed much to allow you to be more prolific in terms of the way the team's playing?
Well, I just think we're taking our chances. I think most games this season we've created a lot of chances. Some we didn't take them, some we have. And basically the 5-1 last week was the first time where we've really basically put a team to the sword and took every chance we've got. So, as I say, from the game starts, we set up, obviously, if you can keep a clean sheet or concede and score more, you won the game, and that's basically it, you know what I mean? So we've set up that we're hard to beat and take our chances, and when we do that, we'll win the game, as we have done.
And have you allowed yourself to contemplate what might happen if you get into the playoffs, and how you feel about that at this stage?
I think at this stage of the season, obviously, there's 3 teams in the hunt for the title. Obviously, there's 2 teams can't win the title, so whoever wins it goes up, and that's obviously what we want to do. But if that doesn't happen, then we're in a playoff with 3 other teams, and there will be disappointment that you haven't won the league, but you've got to dust yourself down and say, well, we've got another crack at it, which is two-legged semi-final and a final, so it's another 3 games. But we'll worry about that if that happens. I think at this moment in time, we've got to remain positive and say, well, we're in the mix, they won the league, and if we won the next 3 games, then we've got a hell of a chance. But if Barnet won those 3 games as well, then we don't win the league. So there is different permutations that will happen over the next 3 games, and you've got to accept that. But at this moment in time, we're looking to win the league.
But if it comes to the last game of the season, Alfreton at home, I mean, it could still all come down to that game, couldn't it?
Well, we know what happens in the last game of the season, you know what I mean? So within 15 minutes, whatever, the last game, anything can happen. So at this moment in time, I think you just got to take Southport this weekend, Dover away the weekend after, which won't be an easy game, and then we'll worry about the last game of the season when that comes around. But as I say, we're aiming to win 3 games and hopefully win this league.